के साथ so from the name of my channel you may aware of that on this channel we will discuss about physics and I have started a series and this is for 11th standard curriculum. We will cover the entire 11th standard curriculum on my channel, so be with us. And I promise that after watching my videos you have no doubts on physics. In physics concepts you will found physics so much crazy, so much interesting, which why I found physics a lot, very interesting, very fascinating. It's so close to my heart. So let's get start without further ado. So before we get start, I want to give you a preview of what physics is really. So physics basically it's a branch of science which deals with nature and natural phenomena. So you guys may aware of this is a book's definition. You guys all know it, but again I want to give you this definition. It's a branch of science which deals with nature and natural phenomena. So what phenomena take place around us, we are discuss about it and we observe it. To observe we gives laws. You can for instance you can take the Newton laws. Newton laws, it's a good example for to understand these phenomena. So Newton observes this, that this is the fundamental axioms, and he give it and he named this, and he gave it a law, and this is from observation. So it's a observation of natural phenomena happening, taking place around us precisely. So, and physics also further divided into three ways. That is this is called classical physics, relativity, and quantum physics. So these are the three main classification of physics. Okay, so these are the main three classification of physics. In classical physics, in this classical physics, the entire classical physics, Newton play a very important role here. Or this classical physics is it's developed by Sir Isaac Newton, and relativity, it's developed by Sir Einstein's, and yes, maybe sir other scientists are there. And quantum physics, so quantum physics, it's introduced us by Planck and Schrodinger, and that type of scientists that give this laws, definition, a lot of things we'll study later on. And relativity, it's another thing. So our discussion will not on relativity. Basically we will study classical physics and quantum physics. It's there is a less part on our 12. So classical physics, where there it is also further divided many branches, like electrolysis, electricity, electromechanics, or precisely magnetism, optics, modern physics, okay, mechanics, like this. So our now we will encounter the mechanics. So that is the most important part for your 11th standard, called mechanics. So I will teach you what mechanics really is, and along which this branch of physics mechanics deals with. So let's get start without further ado. So I'll teach you mechanics. Okay, so as I told you that mechanics is a branch of physics. Okay, it's basically it's from classical physics. So in classical physics, there is a branch called mechanics. Okay, there is a branch called mechanics. There are many branches as mentioned, right? Mechanics, and that is our first, content where we are going to learn, and that is our first content on NCRTs and for our J means as well. Okay, so what is this branch in classical mechanics called mechanics is? Classical physics in mechanics, there is a branch of mechanics in classical physics. So what is this mechanics? So if I give you the definition of mechanics is a study of motion. Repeat with me, mechanics is the study of motion, where we describe motion, where we discuss about motion. Okay, now mechanics is further divided into three ways, that is called kinematics, dynamics and statics. Okay, so these are the three further divided branches of mechanics. Okay, further divided branches of mechanics. So mechanics, as I mentioned, that mechanics is a study of motion. Whatever motion you deals in physics, it comes under mechanics. Okay, so in kinematics, what is the definition of kinematics? Kinematics, it's a branch of mechanics where we describe the motion. We are not discuss about what is the causes, what are the causes behind a motion. We are just discuss about, we just give the description, precisely we just give the description of motion, you know, and we don't discuss that why this motion is happening. Okay, now now dynamics. What is the definition of dynamics? Now dynamics is, it's nothing but it's just the opposite of kinematics. In kinematics we are just discuss about why a motion is happening. Okay, what is the causes, what is the reason behind motion, why motion is creating, and what is the what is the formulas it follows, what is the reason behind it, you know. So basically the reason behind the motion, or the cause behind the motion, we studies under dynamics. In statics, okay, what is the statics, what is the definition of statics? Now statics, if I told you that if an object is in motion, let's take this. Okay, just take this highlighter. Okay, now if in my hand this highlighter is in it rest. Okay, this highlighter is rested now, but still this highlighter has some forces are work on it, you know, those some forces are work on this, but it's still it in it rest. So why? So static is nothing but it's a study of motion, it's a study of rest object, okay, rest object motions. Why not motion but rest objects, which laws, which formulas it follows, we will discuss in statics. Okay, so you may I just give you the preview of what is this branches deals with, and what is this mechanics is. So our purpose today, we will not learn kinematics. You may have learned kinematics in your these days, because we have started from so late, but you know that you guys may have learned kinematics and you may be learning dynamics. Okay, so our discussion will be on dynamics first. Okay, it is convenient to learn kinematics first, but we will learn dynamics. This is, I know this is a tough you know, maybe for a lot of students, but this is very interesting, going to be so much interesting. If you are stay tuned with us, I make sure that you get fun on physics and you will fall in love with physics. Okay, physics is just amazing. It is not chemistry, you know, where just the exceptions comes. It's just about entertaining. Physics is just entertaining. So I found physics so much fascinating. That's why I fall in love with physics. You know, so let's get started. Okay, so dynamics, as I mentioned, the dynamics is a study of motion, where we discuss the cause behind the motion. Okay, so cause behind the motion, that why is motion is happening, what is the causes behind the motion. Okay, so let's get started without further ado. So dynamic, okay, dynamic, or precisely dynamics. What is this dynamics? I say it's a study of motion where we discuss about the causes behind the motion, why this motion is happening, why this motion is taking place, what is the causes, why this motion taking place. So okay, so let's get started. So the reason behind motion, okay, cause behind motion, what is the causes behind the motion, why motion is happening, what are the causes. If there is an object, whatever mass it has, many mass, let's say m mass it has, whatever mass, if it is in motion, if it is continuous motion in the in the right direction, okay, I just draw for you the directions as well. Okay, if it is in moving in the east direction, now it is moving. Why it is moving? What is the cause behind its motion? Now there is a term called force. Because of force, this object are in motion. Because of force, if an object is moving, the cause behind it force. So basically we discuss about force in dynamics. I hope it is clear to you now. We discuss about the cause behind motion, and the cause is force. Because of force, some objects can get motion. I hope this is clear to you now. Now you can ask me several questions. I know you may have now in your mind several questions you have. That what is this force? What is this force? Why we study force? I know that you may aware of force, that you encounter force in your day-to life. Okay, so let's study force. Okay, what is force? So in a purely sense, if I describe force, it's a push or a pull. It's a push or pull. So force is basically nothing but it's a push or pull. So that's why we define, in this manner we define the force. In this manner we define force. It's a pull or push. That's it. That is called force. That is called force, isn't it? Force. It's a pull or push. Now, what can forces do? What is the ability of force? So force can change shapes of an object. Objects. It can change shapes of an object. Okay, it can change the shapes of an object. Like suppose if I have a ball here, if you push force here and here, or here in this way, in this manner, if you push force, the ball get slightly it change its shapes, like this, becomes like this. So it changes its shape. So force can change object shapes. Now okay, now it can move something. Okay, it can move objects. When objects is moving, we said that it is in a motion. Okay, so as I mentioned, I told you, before I told you that the cause behind the motion is because of force. Now force is not always can be the reason of motion. I'm telling you why. Because if you have a wall here, okay, it's a strong wall, you applied a force here, you are not able to move this wall, but still there is some force is applying on it. You are exerting precisely, you are exert a force on it. You are exerting, but this object it's not this wall is not moving. This wall it's not moving, but still you are exerting a force on it. But still it is not moving. So force can move an object, or either it can't be, isn't it? I hope it's clear to now what forces can do. So you guys may you guys may understood that what force is. Okay, so you guys may aware of force now. So today we are learnt what are the topics, that what is physics, what are the branches of physics. And our first curriculum is going to be for mechanics, and we studied that what is mechanics deals with, what is the meaning of mechanics. It's a branch of physics which deals with motion. And what are the further branches of mechanics? This is called kinematics, dynamics, and static. And in statics, so we are learning dynamics. So in dynamics we discuss about the reason behind motions. Okay, the reason behind motions, that why are motion taking place, what are the causes behind this motion. And we say that the most of the reason behind motions is force. Okay, most of the reason behind motion is force. Motion take places because of force in most of cases. But we have also seen and we also seen that what forces are, what force is. And we also say that force can move, can change shapes, some objects shapes, it can move objects. Okay, but sometimes it's not always true that always force can move object. I give you an example, that if it is a wall, you applied a force, this whole wall is not moving. So still you are exerting a force on this wall, but this wall is not moving. You applied a force on it, but still it is not moving. So till now we have studied this. So I hope till now the entire concept we have learned, it is clear to you. Okay, so we can now go further. Now we will study motion. Now I'm sounding motion. Now what is this called motion? What is this motion? What is motion? What is motion? You said motion is movement. You said that motion, you will say me that motion is a movement. Okay, motion is a movement of an object. From what? Movement of what? An object. Of an object. Now if an object is moving, now how do you measure this force, this motion? How do you measure the motion? Tell me, how do you measure the motion? Now some of you may be thinking of velocity, measuring the velocity. Think. I am also thinking. Think. Measuring velocity, is it enough? I am also thinking. Think. Okay. So velocity is not enough to define motion, isn't it? Okay, I know. I will understand this whole entire concept with an example. Okay, suppose you have a mirror here. Okay, you have a mirror here. That is a mirror. Okay, that is a mirror. Now you you just fold a paper. And make it a ball. You fold a paper and make it a ball and hit this mirror with velocity set 10 meter per second square a second. 10 meter per second. That is the velocity of this paper which you fold it and throw on it. Is it will break? No, it will not break. And you tried, it will not break. But if you bring a stone and apply with the same velocity 10 meter per second, you applied it on this mirror, this mirror will break. So we have same velocities, but still this mirror just break when we throw the stone on it. But when we applied just throw the paper ball or the paper fold ball on the mirror, it is not breaked. What is the reason behind it? What is the reason? So velocity is not enough to define motion. Velocity is not enough to define motion. That's why we bring another concept called momentum. Momentum. What is momentum? You may be you will I know that you guys mug up this thing and you said that momentum is the product of velocity and mass. It is momentum. We denote it by p and it is a vector, and so it is also vector. You guys will tell me that you just mug up this, you just memorized and you just delivered me this. But what is this meaning of this thing? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning? So, as you see here, momentum is the quantity of motion. Momentum is the quantity of motion. It is the quantity of motion. Don't look at my handwriting, okay? I know that my handwriting is so bad here, and basically my handwriting is not so bad, but I'm writing so fast, that's why my handwriting goes like that. So don't judge it, just understand the fact, okay? So it is the quantity of motion. So in other words, it is the measure of motion. Okay, it is the measure of motion. Now let's come. So what is the meaning of this thing is? This thing is it is the quantity of motion. That's why we measure the motion of it. So let's come into the another example. Sorry, the previous example we delivered you, that if this is a mirror, okay, I'll change my pen. If this is the mirror, okay, if this is the mirror, now you applied the paper ball here. Again we have the paper ball, okay. Now throw it with the same velocity, that 10 meter per second, and you throw a stone at it, and with the same velocity 10 meter per second. Now it will break, but then it will not break. So what is the reason? Because the reason is, the cause is that this has much motion. It has so much motion compared to this. It has much motion. The stone has much motion compared to this. Now, how do you know that? Because the stone has more mass, isn't it? Because the stone has more mass. Let's say it is 1 kg, and it will not also 1 kg. It may not be 1 gram. Okay, let's take it as 1 gram. Okay, or 2 gram or 5 gram. So you can't imagine that it is the 2 gram thing, and with the velocity, what will be the momentum? Okay, just compare it. It is 2 kgs. Okay, for a good example, and it is 1 kgs. Okay, it is 1 kgs. It is 1 kg, and this folded paper is 1 kg, and this is 2 kgs. So which motion? 2 times 10 is going to be 20, and this 10 times what? 10 times 1, it gets 10 meter kg meter per second, and that is also kg meter per second. Kg meter per second, which has much motion. This stone has much motion because it has much mass. So that is the measure of motion. How we measure the motion? Through momentum. Now I told you that what is momentum is. Now today we are going to end this video. But on the next day, today is I know that it is today is 17 November, okay, and our next video is coming on 20th November. Till now I will give you some homework on it. Okay, I will give you some homework on description. You complete all this homework. This is from what we studied today, from this all. And tomorrow when we are next video come, we will discuss about Newton laws. So this momentum is very important when you are interesting to study, when you are want to study Newton laws. So just study it, so revise it so so precisely and with understanding manner. I hope you understood, and be with us, and please do subscribe, share, comment. And so thank you to stay tuned with us, and I promise you, if you along with me, I promise you I'll complete your entire 11th standard curriculum in this few months. Please stay with me and do share and subscribe, because it gives me motivation to make videos, and it's just about motivation. And when I get motivated, and it is more, I will get more accountability. For this accountability, I will try to create more contents for you. So please do share and subscribe. So I promise I will come back with Newton laws. Till now, studies this entire thing which I'm discussed today, what I've discussed today. Okay. So thank you so much for be with us and be with us. So and the next video, as I told you, that it coming on 20th November. So be with us. Okay. So all the best. Thank you.